yet I ask you, is not an alien force already among us? I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat. Cannot swords be turned to plowshares? Can we and all nations not live in peace? In our obsession with antagonisms of the moment, we often forget how much unites all the members of humanity. Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bond. I'm delighted to have this chance to speak, even if it's just for a few minutes with you, to talk about the opportunities for us as we develop the frontiers of space. We've only seen the beginning of this great human adventure, and you're the people who write about our space program, and you know how we've pushed civilization forward with our advances in science and technology. And as we reach out to new opportunities, I know you understand that your best stories are yet to come. As long as we challenge our imagination and aim high, there's no end to the potential of space and no end to what we can accomplish in space to improve life on Earth. And of course, that's the whole point of the program in the first place. We're going to keep pushing back the frontier of space and keep opening new doors of discovery, opportunity, and progress.
And I watched it unfold. And as I think back on it, I saw the relationship between Presidents Gorbachev and Reagan evolve. It went on for 2 days. First thing that happened was a private meeting, and it was scheduled to go on, I think, for 10 minutes. It went on for about an hour and a half. And a lot of people were nervous, break it up, get on the schedule. I said, no, don't break it up. This is what it's for. So they came out of the meeting, okay, I don't know, you said how you appraised, but then we had a plenary session, and in the afternoon, during the break, all of a sudden, President Gorbachev and President Reagan took a walk. They went down to some cabin on Lake Geneva where there was a fire and a fireplace, and you sat down there. I wasn't there, but I know when you came back, there were two friends almost talking about what was going to happen. Then we went to the next day.
That fireside house.
Yes.
President Reagan suddenly said to me, what would you do if the United States were attacked by someone from outer space? Would you help us? I said, no doubt about it. He said, we too.
And yet I ask you, is not an alien force already among us?
President Reagan suddenly said to me, what would you do if the United States were attacked by someone from outer space?
The Caretaker. The United States of America has been visited by extraterrestrial visitors since 1947. We have proof of that. However, we also have some proof that Earth has been visited for many thousands of years by various races of extraterrestrial visitors. Mr. President, I'll just refer to those visits as ETs. In July 1947, a remarkable event occurred in New Mexico. During a storm, 2 ET spacecraft crashed. One crashed southwest of Corona, New Mexico, and one crashed near Detail, New Mexico. The U.S. Army eventually found both sites and recovered all of the debris and one live alien. I'll refer to this live alien as EB-1. President, what does that mean? Do we have codes or a special terminology for this? The Caretaker. Mr. President, EBE means extraterrestrial biological entity. It was a code designed for this creature by the U.S. Army back in those days. This creature was not human, and we had to decide on a term for it, so scientists designated the creature as EBE-1. We also referred to it as NOAA. There was different terminology used by various aspects of the U.S. military and intelligence community back then. President, do we or did we have others? The number 1 would seem to indicate we had others. The caretaker, yes, we had others. Back then, the term was EBE and no number designation. We'll explain how the others came into our knowledge. President, okay, sorry, I was just wondering, and I guess, well, I'm sure the briefing will cover this. Please continue. The caretaker, all the debris and EBEs recovered from the first crash site were taken to Roswell Army Airfield, Roswell, New Mexico. EBE was treated for some minor injuries and then taken to Los Alamos National Laboratories, which was the safest and most secure location in the world. Special accommodations were made for EBE. The debris was eventually transferred to Dayton, Ohio, home of the Air Force Foreign Technology Division. The second crash site wasn't discovered until 1949 by some ranchers. There were no live aliens at this site. All this debris went to Sandia Army Base in Albuquerque, New Mexico. President, okay, a question. Regarding the first site, how many aliens were in the spaceship? The caretaker, 5 dead aliens and 1 alive. The bodies of the dead aliens were transported to Wright Field in Ohio and kept in a form of deep freeze. They were later transported to Los Alamos, where special containers were made to keep the bodies from decaying. There were 4 dead aliens in the second crash site. Those bodies were in an advanced state of decaying. They had been in the desert for the past 2 years. Animals and time got to those bodies. The remains were transported to Sandia Base and eventually onto Los Alamos. We determined both crashed spaceships were of similar design and the bodies of the aliens were all identical. They looked exactly the same. They had the same height, weight, and physical features. Here are the photographs of the aliens.
Mr. President, the signal switchboard is on.
Hello? Well, hello to Hank and both Mikes, and Steve, Judy, and Charlie. Sounds like a little community, a town you've got going up there. You're doing a great job. How's it going? Any surprises so far? Well, you don't mind if I think that over. Listen, I want you to know that the men and women in the Navy and at Hughes Aircraft were thrilled by your perfect deployment of SYNCOM. That communication satellite's going to help all of us in this country, and believe me, we're grateful for your great part in getting it up there and getting it launched. And now, as of this morning, just a little while ago, you were 3 for 3 with the launch of the AT&T communication satellite. Listen, I know that previous astronauts have now and then been able to pinpoint various things down here that they can see from the vantage point of space. And how do we look from up there? You seen anything unusual or things that you're going to be reporting on? Listen, your work up there is helping to make it easier for the people of the Earth to communicate with each other. So on top of being spacemen and a spacewoman, you're doing some very good work for your fellow citizens of Earth, and we're very thankful and we're also very proud. May I ask, is Dr. Judy Resnick nearby? Well, Judy, how is it, your first flight? How's it going? Is it all that you hoped it would be? As for that, what does an electrical engineer do in space? Our thoughts and our prayers are with you, believe me, and I say that for myself and Nancy, and I know for all America. But there is one thing, I'm hesitant about making any suggestions to all of you up there who know so well what you're doing. But if you will, remember to just now and then build some downtime so you can just sit back and watch the world go by, flying above the Earth, lose the bonds of gravity and hurtle through the clouds and touch the face of God. I hope that with all that you're doing up there, I hope that you will have time for a moment like that. We're all very proud of you. God bless you all. Now, I'll say goodbye and let you continue with what you're doing, and we'll all be watching you on TV. Goodbye. And so when I said, well, yeah, what does an electrical engineer do? She says, whatever they tell me. I don't really have an urge to join them there. Program in the first place. We're going to keep pushing back the frontier of space and keep opening new doors of discovery, opportunity, and progress. We're going to do it with the shuttle program, and within a decade, we're going to do it with the manned space station. And the benefits our people will receive literally dazzle the imagination. In partnership with business, private enterprise, we can produce rare medicines with the potential of saving thousands of lives and hundreds of millions of dollars. We'll be able to open the door to and new opportunities for important breakthroughs in cancer research, in diabetes, and in other diseases. We'll be able to manufacture super chips that improve our competitive position in the world computer market, and we'll be able to develop new metals that are lighter and stronger than any we've ever known. And in partnership with industry and academia, the opportunity to expend basic research will grow and grow, and there will be new discoveries and breakthroughs, new progress. So the promise and the potential are there, and believe me, when you write about it, the stories won't be science fiction. They'll be stories of accomplishment. By accepting the challenge of space, we're carrying forward the same courage and indomitable spirit that made us a great nation. And with people like Elizabeth Dole and Jim Beggs and Tony Callio and Bud Evans to lead the effort, there's no doubt that America's space program will lead to a better America and a better life for all your people. And all our people. I just had recently a visit to Goddard Space Center, and there I saw already some of the things that I've been talking about here in general. I saw specific examples that we'll soon be seeing, both in the field of great improvements in health science, improvements in fabrics and materials developed in outer space that are going to mean great savings of time and money to some of our productive industries and increase their production at the same time that they do all those things. It was really a brief trip through Wonderland. So that's the answer to those who in the very beginning fought so hard against the continuation of some of these space programs on the basis that they thought they were just kind of experiments in intellectual curiosity. Well, they're not. They're real and they're practical. So I've used up more than my time, so I've been told I have to get out of here. So may surprise you. You thought that probably I gave the orders. No? No. But thank you all very much. God bless you all. I've been told I have to get out of here. So may surprise you. You thought that probably I gave the orders. No? No.